Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and today we're going to be working on the 84 Virago 1000 and going to be putting it back together. If you go back a couple videos, I was sealing the fuel tanks from rust and cleaning them all out and everything, and now it's time to put the fuel tanks back on the bike, put the carburetors back in, and hopefully it doesn't leak gas anymore. And hopefully I can get it running and operational, so without leaking fuel everywhere. That would be nice. So hopefully it won't take me too long. Getting the carbs on is a little bit fiddly, and the tanks is there's some fiddly stuff to it. It's not exactly straightforward, so yeah, and hopefully by the end of the video I'll have the bike running again. But I'll probably get the tanks on, and then I'll just kind of place the carbs in there and just check and make sure they're not leaking, because they're a pain to get in and out once you install them properly. So I'll probably test them first, make sure they're not leaking, and then go from there. Now, well, let's get started, shall we? Okay, I got the bike outside here on my pad, and I'm gonna get started on putting this auxiliary tank in, but the first thing I want to do is put this piece of hose back on this here so it's ready for the main tank. And I just want to get it on there before it gets inaccessible. I want to make sure it's tight. Yeah. Okay. And then there's a couple hoses here. This one, I'm just going to put the hose clamp on. It's ready to go. So this is the hose that goes to the fuel pump. I've got it on, and that's this one down here. It goes on the bottom. Make sure that hose will spin around. Before I tighten it right up. Okay. So now I'm going to put the big hose on. Should be nice and tight. Okay, so those hoses are on. This is one of those times where I've got this bolt And this one, I looked through my bolts and nothing really seems to work out for this one, but I think because this one's here, I think it has something to do with the seat. I can't remember exactly. But I'll worry about that one when I get to the seat and everything. I think the one for the seat goes through here. I just can't remember. But tank's sort of in there. Let's tighten this down a little bit, and it'll work anyways. Okay, so I'm just gonna test these carbs out, see if the floats will shut off properly. I'm just placing them in here like so. What was that? Yeah, they go like so. So if I fit, oops. Yeah, they kind of go in here like so. And I'm just gonna put the fuel line on. Probably gonna seem a little bit odd, but I am filling up this bottom fuel tank. But just gonna put it in through here, and first to test out these carbs because I was having a hard time getting them to seal up, and I don't want to put the tank on just yet. I should probably do it. Just hooking up the battery again. I took it out to charge it a little while ago. Just gonna place that in there like so. Now I'll turn the key on. Let's see if we can get these to not leak. So basically I'm going to keep turning the key until I can see that it's pressured up and not leaking. Oh, starting to leak. Yeah, look at that, see? Crazy. Let's try this again here. Okay, so I emptied out the bowls, and I'm going to try filling it up again. Sometimes the float needle sticks on it. It should have shut off by now. Yeah. Not really can. What is going on here? Yeah, coming out the vent tube. You know how high the level has to be? I mean, it's got to be way up here. I mean, what is going on? So I'm going through some of the old carb parts from when I first rebuilt these carbs, and I changed the floats for these new ones, and here's the old ones here. But if you look at them really closely, there's a difference in length. Like, you see that? Like this one's shorter right through here. Like, you might see it better if you put them here. If you put them like this. On this. You can see how this one's shorter, eh? And I'm not sure what that is gonna mean, you know, but it just means that, you know. And here's the old float needle, which I changed out, and I'm thinking I might just put the old float needle and float in and see if that makes a difference. I've already got the old float and float needle in here, and we're just gonna test it. I'm just gonna blow into it. Well, it seems to be working, so maybe we'll just go with the old stuff and see how that works. I'll put this back on. I'll do the other side. And we'll try and see how that works, yeah. Because this is just getting frustrating. Stick this on, make sure it's working. Yeah, it seems to be working. Alright, we'll do the other side. blow test this now it's on. Well, seems to be working. We're going to try loading this carb up with fuel again with the old floats and float needle in it. Look at that. It's pressured up and it's not leaking. It's not leaking out here at all. Oh. Oh. There. I think it's gonna work now. What a pain in the butt that was. Okay, so now next I'm gonna put these carbs on properly. So that means I gotta take them out, put the intake manifolds on, and get these carbs to fit on properly here. I'm just sort of loosely tightening down that clamp so it's kind of out of the way, and then move over to this side. Because if the clamp is too slacked off, it'll get in the way of this forward bolt here on the carb. So I just want to put a screw in, but you got to take the screw right out to get the manifold bolt to it. So I still want to get that kind of like so. And then I want to put a little bit of pressure on the back of the carb. And just kind of push that in a little bit. And if you're doing stuff like this, like, you really can't push too hard on the back of the carb. You just a little bit of forward pressure there. Squeeze this clamp down and go around and do the other side. Okay, hook up the choke, and there's a couple of vacuum lines I have to go through. I'll hook them up on the other side. Where does this go? Yeah, so here's the vacuum line here. Just gotta that down. There's one. There's two. Throttle cable. Oh, I got spark plug lead off too. Goes like so. Up here like so, yeah. And set this throttle. Okay. I think that's all the stuff. Take some tools off of here. Fuel line on the other side here. Okay, so it should run like this. Should. Let's see if we got enough juice in the battery to fire it up. Choke. Fixes the problem. That sounds pretty good too. It's awesome. It's running really good. All you gotta do is put the tank on, button up some stuff, and good to go. I gotta change the fork seal and probably a couple other things, clean it up a bit. Awesome. Almost done putting this together. Just a couple. Just putting the cover over the fuel filter, little access panel, and then I think next will be the seat. I gotta take the bolt out. That. There's that. Okay. There, found that other bolt. I knew there was a special bolt for that. I just couldn't see it at the time. It kind of picks up the seat and the corner of the gas tank. At least that's what it looks like. Okay. I think that's it. All right. Just gonna put a little bit more fuel in the main tank here. But first, I'm going to put a little bit of stabilizer in there. I'll top up some fuel here. There's about a third of this jerry can left in here, so I'm just going to pour it in. Just going to put the fuel cap back on. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Make sure you're not leaking any fuel anywhere. I don't see it leaking. Turn the key on. Let's try that one more time. I'll take it on more of a ride tomorrow, I think. Signal lights aren't working for some reason. I'll have to look into that before I go out. Yeah. Probably the switch or something. But it's running and it's not leaking fuel everywhere. It sounds good too. It's got a little bit of a backfire to it though. We'll see what it's like after a good long ride tomorrow. But it feels good so far. Alright. Awesome. Things are starting to look up for this bike. Oh, that's a relief. I think I'm gonna end the video there. It's running pretty good now. It's the best it's run since we owned it. We haven't been able to do much with it. It's always been rusty fuel and carburetor issues and just all kinds of problems with it. But I ended up having to go back to the original floats and float needles to get it to stop pouring gas everywhere. I'm not sure why new ones wouldn't work. It's kind of weird. There's a slight difference in size, but I don't see how that would make a difference, but whatever. It's working now, and yeah, pretty happy about that. So I hope you enjoyed watching the videos on getting this bike going, and I want to thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos, me fixing up bikes and stuff like that in the shop. Until then, we'll see you again real soon. Center Stand Mechanics out.